Om. Om Tatra Surya. All respected sadhakas, bhaktas, shrotas, jignasus, close the eyes and we'll do our prayers at the same time. Remember all Bhagavata avatars, acharyas, bhaktas, etc. Ask them to bless us with all the abilities required to thoroughly understand this Maha Adbhuta Divya Bhagavata Shastram, the knowledge given in it. May we also get by their blessings required strength, stamina, inspiration to live life as said by Bhagavata Shastra, and may all of us become ourselves the Bhagavata. Becoming Bhagavata is in Jnanam, discovering our oneself with the Lord. Becoming Bhagavata in Bhakti means the total surrender to the Lord, everything. Both can be enjoyed simultaneously. That is our goal. So let all the Gurus bless us. At this 2 hours time, nothing else should be important to us. Just now remember all things and say that none of them should disturb us. Anything required, we'll attend to it. Definitely we'll attend to it, but then after the class. In this way, every time, whenever we take up any of the spiritual works of satsanga, study, puja, japa, when we prepare the mind this way, half of the distractions go away. The remaining they come during the time because the mind and vasanas thoughts, they don't need anybody's permission. Anytime they can come to anybody at any situation. So at that time also again my work now is this one. Saying so, when you can discard them, we will learn the art of work while you work and play while you play. That is the way to be happy every day. So this is how spiritually we have to grow. Such many beautiful, small looking but very effective tips which work for us we have to discover. That is how bring ourselves back onto the path again and again, again and again, again and again. Let us start. Om, 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 Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sachidanandarupaya Vishwotpatyadihetave Tavatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayan Namaha. Nigamatalpakalpatarorgalitam phalam Shukamukadamrutadrava samyutam Pivata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhaukaha Narayanan Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayeet. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Yonta Pravishya Mama Vachamimam Prasuptam Sanjeevayatya Shakti Dharaswadhamna Anyanusha Hastacharana Shravanatvagadin Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Samasta Devatabhyo Rishibhyo Munibhyo Gurubhyo Brahmanebhyo Acharyebhyo Bhaktebhyo Sadhubhyo Sadhakebhyo Tirthebhyo Kshetrebhyo Nadinadebhyo Shastrebhyo Namo Namaha. Parabrahmane Mahavishnave Brahmane Sanakadimunibhyo Naradaya Veda Vyasaya Shukabrahmarshye Suta Mahamune Shaunakadi Rishibhyo Vaishampayana Rishibhyo Triad Rishibhyo Prahlada Bhaktajanebhyo Adityadi Navagrah Devatabhyo मत्स्याद्यवतारेभ्यो श्रीदक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेयग्रीव आदिगुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री आदिपराशक्तिमात्रे नमः। माता पितृदेवताभ्यो नमः। श्री आद्य शंकराचार्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यमोदस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं पुराणेतिहासोक्त भगवद्भागवत दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव आनन्दप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः हैन्दवसंस्कृतेः समस्तसत्साधनानां ज्ञानानां योगानां च पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्तिद्वारा विश्वशान्ति विश्वकल्याण विश्व एकता विश्व समग्रता विश्व पुरोभिवृद्धिप्राप्त्यर्थं तत्कृत कङ्कणबद्ध समस्त साधक भक्त सेवक उपासक जिज्ञासूनां साधूनां च संस्थापकानां च आयुरारोग्यैश्वर्य क्षेमस्थैर्य श्रद्धा भक्त्यादि समस्त आवश्यकता संपदानां साधनानां शक्तीनां आनुकूल्यतानां प्राप्ति शत्रुविघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्य दिग्विजय प्राप्त्यर्थं च श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं द्वादश दशमस्कन्धानां वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ द्वादशस्कन्धः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणं द्वादशस्कन्धः। ओम आभासश्च तिरोधश्च निरोधश्च यतश्चाध्यवसीयते स आश्रयः परं ब्रह्म परमात्मेति शब्दते। अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः। श्रीशुक उवाच ओम अत्रानुवर्ण्यते भीक्ष्णं विश्वात्मा भगवान् हरिः यस्य प्रसादजो ब्रह्मा रुद्रः क्रोधसमुद्भवः त्वं तु राजन्मरिष्येति पशुबुद्धिमिमां जहि न जातः प्रागभूतोऽद्य देहवत्वं न नङ्क्षसि न भविष्यसि भूत्वा त्वं पुत्रपौत्रादिरूपवान् बीजाङ्कुरवत् देहादेहे व्यतिरिक्तो यथा नलः स्वप्ने यथा शिरच्छेदं पञ्चत्वाद्यात्मनः स्वयं यस्मात् पश्यति देहस्य तत आत्मा ह्यजो अमरः। घटे भिन्ने यथाकाशः आकाशः स्यात् यथा पुरा एवं देहे मृते जीवः ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते पुनः। मनः सृजति वै देहान् गुणान् कर्माणि चात्मनः तन्मनः सृजते माया ततो जीवस्य संस्कृतिः स्नेहाधिष्ठानवर्त्यग्नि संयोगो यावदीयते ततो दीपस्य दीपत्वम् एवं देहः कृतो भवः। रजः सत्त्वतमो वृत्त्या जायते तविनश्यति न तत्रात्मा स्वयं ज्योतिः यो व्यक्ताव्यक्तयोः परः आकाश इव चाधारः ध्रुवोऽनन्तोपमस्ततः एवमात्मानमात्मस्थम् आत्मनैवामृषभ्रभो बुद्ध्यानुमानगर्भिण्या वासुदेवानुचिन्तया चोदितो विप्रवाक्येन न त्वां धक्ष्यति तक्षकः मृत्यवो नोपधक्ष्यन्ति मृत्यूनां मृत्युमीश्वरम् अहं ब्रह्म परं धाम ब्रह्माहं परमं पदम्। एवं समीक्षन्नात्मानम् आत्मन्याधाय निष्कळे दशन्तं तक्षकं पादे लेलिहानं विशाननैः न द्रक्ष्यसि शरीरं च विश्वं च पृथगात्मनः एतत्ते कथितं तात यथात्मा पृष्टवान् नृप हरेर्विश्वात्मनश्चेष्टां किं भूयः श्रोतुमिच्छसि। इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां द्वादशस्कन्धे श्रीशुकदेवकृत साधन संक्षेप कथनं नाम पंचमोऽध्यायः। ओम शांतिः शांतिः शांतिः। Dearest friends, every shastra, particularly Bhagavatam, in that every skandha, particularly the 10th, 11th, now in the 12th, the concluding teachings of Shukadevji to Parikshitji and to all of us are how complete, how sacred, how beautiful they are. If at all we can keenly, observingly listen, understand, and implement them, won't take time at all to give us that mukti anubhuti. But we have to put those type of efforts from our side to understand every shloka's sadhana indicated. That is why we are taking sufficient time for this fifth chapter, especially trying to study every shloka thoroughly. Each shloka is so beautiful, so complete in itself, and all of them sequentially also can be understood. Repeatedly, we have to contemplate on that for not only the sake of understanding, as we said yesterday, that this understood knowledge should always be remaining on our surface of the intellect for it to be used where and when it is required. Knowledge not useful or used during the thing or the situation is of no use. The money and the knowledge, whenever it is required, at that time, if it is not there, it is neither money nor the knowledge. It is waste. Pustakasya tu ya vidya parahastagatam dhanam. The money, the book, the knowledge in the book, and the money put in the hands of others, not in your hands. Karyakale samutpanne, when the need of that money and education arises, nasa vidya natad dhanam, neither it is a vidya nor it is a dhanam, because it is not useful. So the vidya from the pustaka should come into mastaka, and the money you have to hold all the time. Don't trust anyone with regard to the money. You be the one to spend the money for your own requirement. Even if your wife and husband are there, still husband only common sense, he should give the money to wife, तुम्हारे खर्चों के लिए रखो करके. If he doesn't give, you should ask and take and keep. Because what time the money will be required, we don't know. व्यवहार की बात. So, in the same way, we have to repeatedly contemplate on each shlokas for fully grasping the meaning, remembering it, retaining it, living it again and again. In Vedanta, particularly, living that knowledge, trying to live that knowledge, is what is sadhana. And what is that knowledge? Knowledge about the self. So, I am that self. Don't hesitate at all. Even झूठ के लिए भी मतलब even without fully thoroughly understood also, I am these things as told by Shastra. Even that we do, if not today, slowly on another day, the meaning of those words reveals, and Vaki we understand what we were saying without knowing was correct saying. See, हम जी होश में हम दे होश में, with all experiences also, whether we say it or not, it is 2000% wrong. But Aham Brahmasmi, not even iota is understood about it. Yet it is right. So keep on doing that sadhana of who am I, what I am, which is already said in Shastra. Entire Upanishadic literature and portions of this type of teaching found in all Purana Itihasas, Smriti Granthas. See, Adhyatma Ramayana to भरा हुआ है उन सब से. भागवत में तो last 2-3 chapters fully filled with that only. So that knowledge which is talking in various words about our own essential nature, we have to repeatedly say. So saying ourselves that we are this Lakshana Yukta Atma is an arrow shot at the mind and intellect's projection regarding ourselves to be some jiva, some deha, and some individualized entity in the world related to something or the being in this or that way, trying to eke out the happiness there. इन सब शत्रु रूपी दुष्ट विचारों का हटाने वाला ये बाण के समान है. Every time we think about our essential self as prescribed to us by our shastras. करते रहने से होते रहता है, सुनते रहने से कुछ नहीं होता. सुनो, समझो, बट करो भी. Clear? Now we have already seen yesterday the 8th mantra. 3 days we have spent for it sufficiently. I just browse through, see the 6th mantra. Again, I just want to touch it, one or two things, because it is also equally important. Manaha srujati vai dehan. Okay? Manaha srujati vai gunan. Manaha srujati vai karmani ja. For whom? Be attentive. For the Atma. There are two things. Pure Atma is there, then the Maya is there. From the Maya, the mind came. Mind projects these things. Second, it what? This mana has come from the Maya, just now we said. Then, the beautiful thing what he said in this mantra was, itato jivasya samsruti. Samsruti kiska hai? See, in the Maya, or the gunan dehani karmani, they are being projected by the mind and they are identified by the Atma, but the result is coming to Jiva. Therefore, any time when such doubt comes, to whom the upadhi overpowering is there, the upadhi overpowering or covering is there to the Atma only. Therefore, who is suffering? Don't say Atma, Jiva. Because once the upadhis have covered the Paramatma, he has become as Jiva, as if. Therefore, sufferer is not Paramatma. It is Jiva. It is like who is covering the sun, the clouds. Therefore, who is suffering now? Me, not the sun, who is this side of the clouds. Clouds are the upadhis. That I am suffering that coldness in the winter because the sun is not seen because of clouds. You understood? In the same way, upadhis are projected by the mind, superimposed on the self. Once that is done, the entity who actually doesn't exist but appears to exist, called as Jiva, he suffers, not the self. Else, with every upadhi, if the Atman only gets totally identified and he suffers, then the Atma can never become Nirupadhika and we can never realize our that Nirupadhika Atma, then the moksha prasanga is impossible only. Therefore, उपाधि युक्त जीव का ही संसार है. उपाधि रहित है तो जीव ही नहीं, therefore samsara ही नहीं. Then what is there? The Atma Anubhava Mukti. Catch this point. Don't miss it. And that is what we also have to do. Keep on experimenting by dropping one by one upadhi and discover the truth that we can exist without upadhi. In that way, slowly through the knowledge implemented as practical thing, by gaining those experiences, we have to gain confidence and keep on doing. Other side, intellectually also we have to inquire. What is the inquiry? Everything depends on self. Self doesn't depend on anything. That self is me. Therefore, everything depends on me. I don't need to depend on anything. That independent entity on whom everything depends, who doesn't need anybody as a support, that self is me. Again, why this knowledge we don't practice or becomes difficult? Because of only one thing. From millions of lives, this deha, this indriya padhi, we have taken as ours so strongly. That is why so simple, so direct, obvious knowledge. We should give mukti in a minute's time. We are not able to grasp it. That overpowering thing. That is why in realizing the self, it never takes time because self is in me. But in discarding the tadatmya with the upadhi, all time is taken for it. Maybe 100 lives, 1000 lives, that too when we try. If we don't try, upadhi bandhan to badta hi rehta because every life we do a karma, get karma phala. As a jiva identify with upadhi, they all become more and more newer added vasanas. So this shloka is once more we just touched along with what we have already discussed, saying that samsara is not to the Parama Atma in me. Samsara is to the Jiva me. And what is difference between in me Paramatma, me Jiva? The Paramatma is beyond the Upadhi, Jiva is with the Upadhi. That way there are not two people. There are two people. Like he with the sports dress is a sports person in the ground. He is in a suit boot coat in a party as an invitee. Are there two people? One only. He dressed there like that, he dressed like that here. I didn't give that embarrassing example, but you will understand it. Dressed with upadhis is Jiva. Gurudev says, undress yourself of upadhi and you are one with that your own naked reality. Reality is naked, it has no upadhi. It is its pristine glory, may it is happy. And any dress you wear, that individual you become. शादी गए तो शादी वाला ड्रेस हो गया, पार्टी गए वो वाला, everything different. In the same way here also. Then those four things also, sneha, adhisthana, varti, agni, become very, very strong in that understanding. That when these four are there, Jiva Bhava is there, like the lamp is there. Okay, Deepasya Deepatvam, so to Jivasya Jivatvam. Sneha Davasanas, Adhishtanas, Sthula Sukshma Deha, Varti Ahamruti, Agni is the Chidabhasa. When these four combined, I as a Jiva, solidly I live as if I am true. In the Deepa, each one of them when dismantled, there is no flame. It goes to its original avyakta form. Same way, from the Jiva, all these four are dismantled. Remember, always remember, again and again and again. Jiva Bhava goes away, which was through the Upadhi, but Atma Anubhava remains. Jiva Bhava goes, Atma Anubhava remains. And it is very, very sublime, very, very subtle. Like children, even though the thing is useless, worthy of throwing, but in his mind somehow the attraction, attachment comes to it, he will not throw it. Like the women at home. Some of the things they can throw, but they say कभी ना कभी काम को आएगा करके पकड़ के रखते हैं. Men or women, anybody. Same way, even though these upadhis, when they are troublesome, when they are thrown, Atma Anubhuti is gained, yet like a child, we don't want to throw them away. That is why we are always away from the liberating self experience as long as we are like that. So, this is what Sneha Adhisthana Varti Agni Shloka's essence. So, then we came and studied 3 days this one mantra. How powerful it was. Yusa. Na tatratma swayam jyotihi yo vyakta vyaktayo paraha akasha iva chadharaha dhruvo nantopamastatah. So dhruvaha, very firm in its being, whatever it is. Anantaha, nothing called desha, kala, vastu, ityadi can bring limitation to it. Anupamaha is such another thing is not there to show as an upama. Example. उपमा is an example. उपमान. तो इस तरह से होता है, ऐसा तरह होता है. अगर के हम दुकान में जाते तो एक उपमान देखे उनको कहते हैं ऐसा वाला दे दो, है ना. जनरली कलर्ड क्लॉथ चाहिए या कलर, तो वो वाला कलर्ड क्लॉथ का टुकड़ा ले जाके हर दुकान में हम ढूंढते रहते हैं, ऐसा कलर का है तो दे दो. देर उपमानम, but there is nobody other than him, therefore is anupamaha. And this Paramatma is tataha sarva vyapakaha. Tataha is all permeating. All permeating is a beautiful word, fermentation. Whatever, wherever, in whichever the avastha we are going through or experiencing, in those avasthas, whatever the things are there, in and through every one of them, he is permeating. That's called a tataha, sarva vyapaka. है ना. अखंड मंडल आकारम व्याप्तम येन चराचरम स्थावरम जंगमम व्याप्तम यत् किंचित सचराचरम तत्पदम is this one. That who shows to us called as Guru, to him my salutations. Tatpadam, that is the Mena, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So the Tataha means Vyapakaha. So let us take the Nidra Avastha. So in the Nidra Avastha, in that ignorance, totally the Paramatma is Vyapta to support that ignorance also. This is one side of the Nidra Avastha coin. The other side of the Nidra Avastha coin is the Bija for the Jagra Swapna Avastha. In that Bija Avastha also, the Paramatma is permeated as the support for them to be in that condition. Now come to the dream. In the dream, the subtle world is there. How it has come and all, also different subject. It's come because of the vasanas only. When totally we have not woken up, a special world is generated or projected. In that, as we said, some things which are not unfulfilled in the waking, and some vasanas of the vasanamaya get exhausted through the swapna. But in that, purushartha of vyavaharika laukika as well as adhyatmika doesn't happen. And there is no logic or system or any, what is a sequence correlation in the happenings of the dream. You can have in the dream a elephant with a man's head or a man with a donkey's head, and you can see human beings flying on the sky. Even the fishes also fly in the sky. Birds swimming in the water. ऐसा कोई भी होता है, वो फायर गोइंग डाउन, वाटर गोइंग अप, कुछ भी सपने में, सपने को कोई लॉजिक नहीं होता, याद रख लेना. It is anything. Anything can happen in sapna. I we have seen 5 shlokas back. Swashirachedam can happen. Panchattva also can appear in the dream. I am dead. The procession is being taken care. I am put on the pyre. ये सब भी आता है. Okay. So in the dream world of all subtle, whether it is logical or illogical, as a substratum, tataha, this pure Paramatma is Vyapta. Then which Paramatma would be Vyapta? This everything is Sat and Chit only. Sat and Chit only Paramatma. And he being everywhere Vyapta is called a Ananta. Now come to the waking plane. As we said, the subject-object dichotomy happens in the mind. Beyond the mind, there is no subject-object difference. One only, like in Nidra. There is no world other than me. I am not there as other than the world. A homogeneous experience of oneness, but in ignorance it happens. But the two-ness is created in mind in a subtle form in the dream. In the dream, the Rupa Nama difference is there, but both are at the subtle level as the thoughts. What is the difference between dream and waking? In the dream waking world, the Nama becomes subjective, Rupa becomes objective. Rupa is object, the Nama is subject. Both are projection of the mind only. So that is one thing. The dichotomy in the Jagrata Avastha happens because of functioning of the mind. But we are not discussing that aspect. What we are discussing is, even if we are seeing the objective world so solid, perceived by me, the subject, of course, through my upadhis, in the me who is perceiving the objective world, in the upadhis which I am using to perceive the world, and the perception per se, and the object itself also, all are tatam permeated by that one common Sat Chit Paramatma only. That is why aham asmi, asti or asmi कहते हैं इसको grammatically. Then mama upadi santi, upadaya santi, I have upadi. Then jagat asti, jagataha anubhuti asti. So jagat is asti only. Jagat anubhuti also asti. Upadi also asti. Aham api asti or asmi. देखो, so in one astitva, here me, then my upadhi, then the world and its perception, all are supported. Be consciously attentive here. That if at all imagine, if our focus is on the astitva, per se, imagination sake, in that focus on the astitva, do we see the projected these four things? Like if our focus is on the gold, do we see the ornament? No. It's only gold everywhere. It's only a drushti. Swarna drushti hai to avarna nasti. Suddenly the avarna drushti comes and it overpowers us, takes the position of reality to the extent that the support of that is forgotten. This is called Maya. This is called Ajnana. This is what we have to sort out. That is what 100 times in different examples we have seen. The Namarupatmaka Jagat projected out of the Paramatma superimposes Paramatma, covers Paramatma in such a way that he is not at all seen. So this Sat Chit Rupi Atma, okay, is there in the experiencer, instruments of experience, experiences, experience do. If that is, and every ounce of it, every nook and corner of all these four things of experiencer, experience, experienced, and upadhis is the permeation of this Atma Vastu everywhere. Then what should be non-seeable, common sense should prevail in our heart. That on that one substratum, these four are only manifested or projected. And that manifested projected, we have taken it as real. Why do you say these are manifested and projected? Why do you say the Satyachit as real? Because of the definition. What definition? If anything is Sat or real, it remains all the time. All the time same. So Satyachit is always there as Satyachit only, it is not changing. But all the other four things, are they continuously staying? They are not staying. And new things are coming and going. So anything which comes and goes is Mithya. Anything remains all the time is Satya. And why comes and goes is because you are giving value to it. If you don't give value, it doesn't come and doesn't go. How to devalue? By valuing that which never changes. Therefore, all the four are coming. First, the object, like say, the object number one. Then the experience or perception of the object number one. Then the instrument used for it is different. Then the experience it is different. It is the object, let us say it's a red color. So red color object ka perception is a red color's perception. Then that is seen by which instrument? Eye. And who is the experiencer of that now? A drashta, a seer. Let us say object number two is a sound. Shankadvani. No, Shankadvani is an object. And its experience. That dhvani is heard. Instrument used is not the eye there, it is ears. And who am I the experiencer at that time? Not the seer, but hearer. So object 1, object 2, both are different. Experience 1, experience 2 are different. Instrument 1, 2 are changed. Experience are also changed. But when this happened, what happened to the Satyachit which was supporting the first number, first set of 4? Same is there in the second set of 4 also. Like the 1,000 sets of 4 they are there. The Satchit Paramatma or the self or the substratum is the same. Therefore, that is reality. They are all illusion and coming and going. When you attend to them, they come and go. When you attend to the self, they neither come, they don't go. So it is our awareness of the Paramatma removes the awareness of these things. Be attentive. Is the unawareness of Paramatma projects these things. They are not real. Projected. Like the awareness of the rope ejects or removes the snake appearance. So too the non-awareness of the rope as rope alone gave way for the projection of snake which was never there. But if you decide to see it as snake and strongly believe it is a snake and you don't believe to gurus who have seen it as a rope and you shout at the pitch of your voice and become frightened and get pasina, how that all can happen if your delusion or your perception of the snake is taken so much as reality, so many symptoms will come. Don't ask why, that's called Maya. Oh, hora hai was. Never talk about the problems too much. You have to talk about the solution. That is why always the gurus ask, do you want to know the snake is real or not, or do you want to get rid of the fear? Very important thing. You can never know the snake either real or not as long as you are contemplating on the snake. क्वेश्चन शुड बी चेंज. तुमको सांप से मुक्ति चाहिए कि संसार से मुक्ति चाहिए? सांप से तो मुक्ति होएगा ही नहीं. So you have to ask for the samsara se mukti. Dukkha nivritti chahiye. Okay, then let us go this way. Just watch it. Carefully, keenly, closely. Immediately you realize the rope. The moment rope is realized, snake is gone, all the fears are gone. So don't ask whether Jagat is real or not. Do you want to get freed from the samsara of the Jagat? Yeah. Then just patne gale se mere saath aao. Then let us see the self first. The moment the self is experienced, the entire Jagat, which is only a projection in the ignorance of self, is rejected, gone. When it is gone, where are the problems? That is why it is the ajnana of the self created the world in samsara. And don't try that way. They were first I remove the samsara, then I remove the created the world, then I will come to the no self. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Though it happened this way, but the reverse is not that way. As I told you in one of the textbooks, if a object is there, if it is covered by layer 1, covered by layer 2, then to reach to that object, obviously you have to remove the layer 2 first, then the layer 1, then the object is realized. This is in case of other objects. है ना? But in case of self, ऐसा नहीं होता. Self is one. The first covering of it is ignorance. Second covering of it is projection of the world. It is not the projections are removed, then the ignorance is removed, then the self is seen. ऐसा नहीं होता. Here, you see the self. Other two you need not do. The ignorance goes away, the projections go away. Therefore, all this theory is only to prove that the world and the experiences are illusion. After that, all theory you have to keep aside. Once that conviction comes, then all our effort should be to realize the self. When the realized self is realized, what we have theoretically understood that the world is unreal, therefore the samsara is unreal, that is obviously experienced. So focus should be on the self. And at a common level also, it's a laughable thing. We want to know everything in the world but not our own self. That's why today in our status, Lord made me write this thing. Enough of knowing and owning the people and suffering. Now let us know and own ourselves to be blissful. Enough of knowing and owning the people, trying to know and own the people and get dejected and depressed. Let us now know and own our own selves, where we get into the bliss. Focus on the self. Focus on the self. Self discovered, all not self goes away along with all the problems which it has brought. ये वेदांत का मर्म रहस्य जिसको नहीं पता होता, he tries to only struggle on the upadhi level, in the world level to change. He is not at all a mature sadhaka. So first to Atma Anubhuti, Atma Jnanam, then Sarvam is Brahma Jnanam and Brahma Anubhuti. So other than the Brahma Atma, everything else is the projection of Rupanama. Whenever we say the projection of Rupanama, never ever even once imagine that the Rupanama which is projected is something tangible or substantial, independently. Like whenever you say the ear ring or nose ring, don't imagine there is a earring or nose ring independently existing with its own substance. No. The Rupa, the ring, the Rupa, Nama, the ring, can never have their own independent existence without the gold there. So we in an inadvertence, because of never having the subtle way of contemplating, the moment the Rupa Nama Shabdas are uttered, immediately we take them to be solid existing things. No, they are projections. Projected things doesn't have their own substratum. Like snake is projected. What is the material which the snake has brought for it to get projected there? उसमें कुछ नहीं है. Even for that snake's projection, the substratum is rope only. Because the ropeless place, you don't project the snake. अधिष्ठान के बिना आरोप नहीं होता है. आरोपितस्यास्ति किमर्थवत्ता अधिष्ठानमाभाति तथा भ्रमेण. Be attentive. Whenever we are talking every day in all classes, Rupanama, don't think this Rupanama. You think just the concept of Rupanama devoid of the substance. The substance is Paramatma. 100 times we gave examples. A same gold or a door made out of the wood. A Rupa and Nama, Karuna, Rupa given and Nama given, name given to the wood, we are calling it as door. Door is never existing independently. Door Rupa, door Nama, दरवाजा है क्या वो बिना लकड़ी के? एक बार इस पे गौर से सुनिए, क्योंकि ना दो चार ही होते वेदांत में. जिसको नहीं पकड़ने से कुछ नहीं समझ में आता, जिसको पकड़ने से सब कुछ समझ में आता. One of the crucial thing is this one. Is the door name, is the door word or a form, have they any independent existence apart from the wood? Think about it. No. In the sequence of it, go next. Is there a wood, the name, and wood form existing apart from the tree, independent of tree? No. So too is the tree the name, is the form the tree. Can it exist independent of the earth? है ना, कोई पेड़ तो जमीन के ऊपर तो उगता नहीं. Is it not? The earth itself named and formed is tree. Tree itself named and formed is that wood. Wood itself is named and formed is the door. See the Maya there. सिर्फ नाम रूप बदल रहा है, चीज क्या है ना, हम भूल ही जा रहे हैं. The stuff. Go behind. Can there be the earth name and form without water? In the same way, water without fire, fire without air, air without the sky, space. Can the space be there without the mind or intellect? Whose concept is the space? Can the mind intellect be independent of the conscious existence in me, which is my essential self? Cannot be. Therefore, conscious intelligence or conscious existence, the self me, alone is Manabuddhi. Alone is the Akasha. Alone is in this way named and formed. Okay, here the grossifications are done from the Atma up to the how do you say Akasha level. And from there, Akasha say up to Prithvi tak. Grossification. From the Prithvi, gross say grass. Earlier, subtle to gross. Water is subtler than the earth. Fire is subtle than the water. वहाँ fire से water से earth आना is because of one addition guna to those subtle elements. But once the earth has come, from the earth, the solid only, the tree comes. There is no gross subtle difference. There is gross difference only. From the wood tree, the wood coming. From the wood, the door coming. So they are all gross. But before that, from the subtle to the gross. And why it is happening, how is it happening, this question never can be answered, nor even it is answered of any use. Then what is to be asked? Who is the substratum of all that? That is the self. In the discovery of self, questions are not answered, questions are dissolved. And the one who understands that dropping the questions is the solution to the question is the wisest person in life. Stop asking your family people from today anything. You will find the peace of mind more. Because any question you ask, whatever answer they give, that is not satisfactory to you. And then why ask question? चुप रहो, वो लोग बताए तो सुनो, नहीं तो नहीं. एक हफ्ता प्रैक्टिस करके देखो. Don't ask anybody anything. Whatever happen outside, forget. You will have peace of mind. बट हमको खुजली इतनी होती है ना, सब कुछ जानना है. आत्मा को छोड़कर सब जानना है. But everything is मिथ्या, unreal. And on what basis you will accept what he's saying is right? What are the evidences? He can't be proved. It's a very sublime subject. It is. Some other time in a very high level, different context, we will go into these intricacies. But all this discussion has come from this last word, tataha. Tataha. So, akaseva Savhati, Akaseva cha adharaha, dhruvaha, anantaha, upamaha or anupamaha, then tataha. The tataha word is more powerful in meditation. Tatam, tatam, tatpadam, tatam, that which is permeating everything. It is, what is that permeating? That Shuddha Sattva-chit. Sattva-chit grossified in you is you. Sattva-chit grossified in me is me. In between you and me, what is there? Same Satyachit is there, but not grassified in the form of you or me or anybody. Paramatma manifested as you, Paramatma manifested as me. In between you and me, what is there? We say the space. But who is knowing that space? Awareness. Therefore, awareness is there or not? Yeah. Is that awareness existing or not? Yeah. So that existence awareness is permeated everywhere. Like water is permeated everywhere. One place it is expressing a wave, another place it is expressing as wave. In between it is stable. Is it not? But we are so much overpowered by the Rupa Nama Adi, therefore we are not able to experience that self which is beyond Rupa Nama. Remember, Rupa Nama Yukta expression of the self only comes into the contact, comes into our experience. Our experience means objectified experience. The self has to be experienced as subject only. That will happen when we devalue the Rupa Nama, not otherwise. Which is not an easy thing because the habit of so many lives. But take the yoga Vyasa योग का help ले लो, वेदांत विचार का help ले लो, शरणागति का help ले लो, भक्ति के द्वारा one day it will happen. But keep on doing like spirituality, like a scientist's scientific work. He'll go on experimenting. He doesn't know even the hours have passed, days have passed, months, years. एक साइंटिफिक इन्वेस्टिगेशन एक बंदे का पूरा जीवन कंज्यूम करता था उन दिनों में. बिकॉज कुछ ही लोग होते थे वही. अभी हजारों हो गए इसमें थ्रू कोऑर्डिनेशन दे आर ब्रिंगिंग थिंग्स क्विकली. And if you go to ISRO, every year they make so many. How come? Because so many thousands and lakhs are employed for that thing. What are required? So many are working. But those days, only one. Even scientists I am talking. One Edison might have taken others' help. He said कि 27 years he took to create or invent a bulb. It is said. तो लगे रहे एक दिन लग गया. So too, the discovery of the self is all alone. लगे रहो. Then एक दिन when we transcend Rupa Nama, लगेगा. Every day we are transcending Rupa Nama in the Nidra. Transcending Rupa Nama but not going to Nidra or Bija Avastha is discovery of the self. This is one way of meditation. Anyway, so natatra atma swayam jyoti yo vyakta vyaktayo paraha आकाश एव चाधारः ध्रुवोऽनन्तोऽनुपमस्ततः हो गया. ध्रुवोऽनन्तोपमस्ततः. Now we take the next shloka. Again very solid, very detailed. Lot of things are there. Half of them are covered earlier. Therefore, if I remind those things, that will solve half of the thing. Remaining half we try to touch upon. So, evam. I am chanting the mantra, then one by one word we take out, we see the meaning of it total. Like the Upanishad, let us study this also, because this Upanishad is Jnanam only. Evam atmanam atmanaivam prabho buddhyanumana garvinya vasudevanuchintaya. What a cutest of these slokas. भगवान कुछ कृपा करके give us the mastery on Sanskrita Bhasha with all the vocabulary, etc. So that immediately we grasp the literal meaning, immediately we enter into contemplation, immediately we reach out to the experience or the knowledge which is indicated through this श्लोक. अब भाषा नहीं होने से सब प्रॉब्लम. Wonderful. एवमात्मानमात्मस्थम् आत्मनैवामृष प्रभो बुद्ध्यानुमानगर्भिण्या वासुदेवानुचिन्तया. एवमात्मानमात्मस्थम् आत्मनैवामृष प्रभो बुद्ध्यानुमानगर्भिण्या वासुदेवानुचिन्तया. एवमात्मानमात्मस्थम् आत्मनैवामृष प्रभो बुद्ध्यानुमानगर्भिण्या Vasudevanuchintaya. Super. This will be understandable to us if we take the help of our morning Taittiriya Upanishad for some extent. So evam means in this way. Means all the above said knowledge को पीछे background में रखते हुए उसको use करते हुए एवं. One by one word. Atmanam. हिंदी में बताता हूँ, इजी होएगा। आत्मा को, आत्मस्थम, आत्मा में ही रहने वाला। सो आत्मानम आत्मस्थम को रिवर्स करके पढ़ो, देन आवर लोकल लैंग्वेज में वो बात समझ में आता है। सो एवं आत्मानम आत्मास्थम, इन इंग्लिश, इन दिस वे द सेल्फ व्हिच इज इन योर ओन सेल्फ। इन लोकल लैंग्वेज में इस तरह से अपने ही अंदर रहने वाले आत्मा को, आत्मस्थम आत्मानम को, अपने ही अंदर रहने वाले अपने आप को, आत्मानम आत्मस्थम। वन बाय वन, ओनली लिटरल मीनिंग आई एम टेलिंग, देन वी गो इनटू डिटेल्स। आत्मना एवा मतलब अपने ही आत्मा के द्वारा, अमृषा विचारण करके जानो। किसका हेल्प लेना है उसके लिए? बुद्धिया। व्हाट इज द बुद्धि? गर्भिणी बुद्धि। दैट गर्भिणी बुद्धि इन द गर्भ, व्हाट इट इज कैरिंग? अनुमान। नॉट द अनुमान एज इट इज इन द आउटसाइड। है ना, ये गर्भ है कि और कुछ है पता ही नहीं चलता। यू नो, बेचारे आजकल तो सॉल्व एवरी साउंड्स आर देयर, एवरी वेज ऑफ टेस्टिंग्स आर देयर, लैप्रो लिप्रो वॉट एवर स्कोप इज। अर्लियर भाई पता नहीं होता था। यू नो, इन वन केस वी सॉ कि दैट पेट में वर्जन बढ़ ही रहा है, दैट वीमेन वाज सो टेंस्ड कि सब कुछ एक कुछ पत्थर वत्थर बढ़ रहा हो। आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 30-40 years में। Then when she went for test, already the 4 or 4.5 months का fetus है अंदर। She never imagined because her earlier delivery was 15 years back. गर्भिणी की बात कह रहा हूँ। In other case, they think that गर्भा, but it is some stone, some kidney, some bulging it happens. I'm just telling meaningless example here, not required. The word is garbhini, that's why. So anumana garbhinya. Here anumana means not the anumana of doubts, etc. The anumana means anvaya vyatireka paddhati. So buddhya anumana garbhinya. Then who helps to do this all things? Who empowers us? Who facilitates us? Who gives conveniences? Who gives guidances? Outside, inside, who makes all things convenient is Lord. Therefore, Vasudeva Anuchintaya. Okay, this is the meaning of it. Anu means always. Chinta means not here chinta or chintana. Here keeping Vasudeva, the Lord, inside heart. Because सोई जानत जय देव जनाई, तो जो जिनको भगवान परमिशन देते वही भगवान को जानते हैं। जब हमारे लिए टेंजिबल भगवान इज वासुदेव और रामा कृष्ण। तो वासुदेव अनुचिंता मीन्स continuously tuning to that Saguna Sakara Paramatma, asking him to make us having the ability to do the contemplation said in the first two lines, first 1.5 line, to realize the self. Like we ask, हे भगवान पैसे दो, भगवान पोजीशन दो, भगवान ये वगैरह वगैरह मांगते हैं, हे भगवान ज्ञान दो, हे भगवान क्षमता दो समझने का इस बात को। In that way, asking the Lord, that asking the Lord removes the ego in us. Because whenever you don't ask, the ego grows. Whenever you have ego, you will not ask. Whenever you ask, the ego goes away. Whenever the ego is dropped, you are ready to ask others. Like the child, no ego, therefore you will ask the mother. But पड़ोस के आके पूछेगा क्यों आंटी खाना देना, you will not, because the ego works there. So to the आंटी का बेटा वो घर में अपने मम्मी को बिना ईगो पूछेगा वो, बट यहाँ आते ही ये आंटी को नहीं पूछेगा वो. So when you ask the God, ego goes away. When ego goes away, then the thing is revealed. Not asking the God is what? I will do it myself. You can do everything in the world outside, but Tattva Jnanam you can't do by yourself. Morning our Mundaka Upanishad students have heard. Gurum eva abhigachet. Why that eva avadharana? The Rishi Arshruti Mata used spashta roop se. Shankar Bhagavan says, Shastrajna api swatantrena brahma jnana anveshanam na kuryat. Ataha eva avadharana. Even one is highly scientific, highly intellectual, Brahma Jnana Anveshanam, without a guru he cannot. Guru and God are same. Here it is Puranam, therefore here Vasudeva Anuchinta. There it is Upanishad, where Guru Shishya, therefore there is Guru is said. I will tell it again. We have not done the shloka. We just said the meaning of the words. Now let us go to the shloka one by one word. We'll try to see it today, tomorrow, little kalbaki. Evam, in this way. In what way? Throughout Bhagavad what I taught that way, or the summary of all of that which is said in the last seven shloka or eight shlokas. In that also, eighth shloka is important. आठवां श्लोक को आप पकड़ लो एवं इन द नवा श्लोक ये बताया इसलिए गर्भिणी नाम आया क्योंकि गर्भ 9 months का होता है एवं by last 7-8 shlokas whatever is said in that way by digesting all that knowledge using that knowledge on the seat of meditation again one by one if I say again it will be 7 days 8 days you hear all that it's in my mind again I can restart but then time constraints. So, evam, in this way, atmanam. So, what is our goal? Goal should be never the anatma, atma only. And which atma? Refer to the morning Taittiriya, which is called as Brahma in the Vedanta or Upanishads. And which Brahmasa? Which is said in the Rigveda mantra as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Yajurveda Brahmana told Brahmavid apnoti param. Then tad esha abhyukta. No esha rucha tad abhyukta. Through this rucha mantra, that Brahma having obtained whom param is obtained is told. What did the rucha mantra tell about the Brahma? Satyam jnanam anantam Brahma. Remember, whole Taittiriya Upanishad discusses the Satyam jnanam anantam Brahma. And this Taittiriya Upanishad is in the Krishna Yajurveda, but the Satyam Jnanam Rantam on which it is based on, this is from the Rigveda mantra. So that's how the Upanishads have Ekamakyata. So Atmanam means Paramatmanam, means Sarvatmanam, means Parabrahma, means Satyam Jnanam Anantam. We are very clear. So Satyam Jnanam Anantam Parabrahma, who is Sarvatma, who is Mayonatma. Is Atma ko. Atmanam I explained. Second case, accusative case, is Atma ko. Atma ko. Evam Atmanam, self, which is the self in all, which is called as Brahma, which is explained as having this Lakshana for our contemplation. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So is Brahma ko. And where to find him? Again, same Taittiriya Upanishad. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. So what is said in the Upanishad Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman? Our SHUKADEVJI'S says here as Atmastham. That Atmastham again, Taittiriya Upanishad, I am Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijnata. I am. That is Atma only. Therefore, in that I am Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijnata, we have to discover the Atma. In what way is there as Atma in this Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijnata Atma as Chidabhas? But is Chidabhasa independent? No. It depends on Chaitanya. But is Chaitanya is independent of the Sat? No. Therefore, ultimately it is Sadrupena. So here the Atmastam word, you and I, because we studied Taittiriya, it becomes easy for. नहीं तो भटकते रहेंगे. आत्मा मतलब कहाँ? चलो आत्मानम तो समझ गए आत्मा को. आत्मस्थम मतलब जो आत्मा में है. अब कौन से आत्मा में है? Upanishad told us this Atma is everywhere, but nowhere it is available. It is there very much in Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, हर जगह पे है, but not available. Because Nirvisheshanam and it is Nirvyavaharam. But for the sake of himself making available for us as if Paramatma took Visheshanas, as if. For making available. Like the children chupa chupi खेलते ना और जब मम्मी रोती है कि दिख ही नहीं रहे बेटा then that fellow does some sound मम्मी मैं यहाँ हूँ like that he makes so that he becomes available for that mother. Is it not? So too we are like mother searching and the God is like the child. In general he is not available though everywhere there. God's presence and God's availability, they are two different things. Present is everywhere, but available for recognition is different. He is everywhere there. अब जितना भी ढूंढो नहीं मिलेगा. So out of his karuna and kripa, for becoming available to us, he has taken up as if a visheshana. The three visheshanas he took up are chitta, chidabhasa, okay, which chidabhasa daham becomes through the ears, the shrota, through the eyes, the drashta, through the mana, manta, through the buddhi vijnata. Matlab, in the game of this universal creation, having created the world for his play, while that play is being done, when you and I are his own instruments, when we are sent here to play, when we get lost in the game, taking it as real, when we suffer. Like the child goes out for outing, suddenly उसको डर लगता है मैं कहाँ जा रहा हूँ, फिर वो मम्मी भी बस आ जाता. In the same way, when you and I as जीवा suffer, भगवान ने कहा नहीं नहीं बेटा तुम मेरे पास आ जाओ तो तुमको सफरिंग चला जाएगा. अब मुझे ढूंढ के कहा, how can you be available, how can I be available to you? See, I will express like this so that anytime you can come back to me through this parampara. Parampara is first recognize Paramatma as not the drushya, discover him as drashta. Then behind the drashta, the chidabhasa. Behind chidabhasa is the chitta. Behind the chitta is sat. So too, Paramatma is not the Shravana Vastu. He is Shrotra Indriya. Then not even that, he is Shrota. Then behind that Chidabhasa. Behind that the Chaitanya Atma. Behind that the Sattvastu. In this way, with practice, if we develop the art of tracing back from Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijnata to the self, no moment we miss the self. But that practice has to be done. We are lost in the drushya vastus. And that's because again vasana and they no strength of the knowledge to combat the vasanas and live life against the vasana projected reality given to the world. Who can swim across the river when the river's flow is this side? Who has more strength and stamina to swim more than the speed of the river down? They will be flowing in that only. So the flow of the vasanas is to push us into the world of objects outside. So if our knowledge that the self is untouched by all that and the commitment that I have to discover that self strongly we have, then only from the drishya vastus, slowly we come to drashta. From the drashta to the chidabhasa. From chidabhasa to the chitta. From the chitta to the sat. If at the first place we fail, it's never the sadhana possible. है ना? एंड इन दैट आल्सो कर्ता भोक्ता इतना हम फंसे रहते हैं, इतना बहिर्मुख रहते हैं. लाइक योर चिल्ड्रन नेवर कम होम. सुबह शाम वो खेलता रहता है, अपने दोस्त को घूमता रहता है, आ जा रहे वो आते हैं, उसका आदत. So too we also are outside only, he never go. That is why atmanam atmastam atmana eva amrusha. All atma atma atma. So half of it we explained, remaining we'll see tomorrow. Atmanam touched, taking the help of the Taittiriya Upanishad. Which Atma? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Atma. Then Atmastam means in your own, is there Vijnanamaya Guha is there. I told you difference between Vijnanamaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Guha. Vijnanamaya Kosha is that where the Vijnanam of the outer objects is happening. So it is one of the Koshas. Vijnana Guha is that point of entry for us, where from the Jnata we are going into the identification of the Chidabhas. उस गुफा में बाहर बाहर हम घूमते हैं, because that means what, we are knowing everything through faculties as a knower we are, but who is the one because of whom the knowing is happening, that we never inquired. That inquiry, if at all we do, where it takes us, that's called guha. It is sukshma. It is very sukshma. गुहाया. एंड उसमें भी 3 स्टेज, चिदाभासा, चित्तो एंड सत्य. पकड़ लो इस बात को, आप कोशिश करते जाओ, लग रहेगा वो एक जन्म में कभी ना कभी. छोड़ो मत. Salient points, if you don't live and keep practicing in one life, the Lord makes us realize. Then what is the meaning of Atmana Eva? What is the meaning of Amrsha? Thereafter, Bhagavan talks to him as what? Prabhu. Hey Prabhu, my dear, परीक्षित जी को प्रभु कह रहे वहां सुखदेव जी, where is the Raja? Then Buddhya Anumana Garbhinya is what we have again studied in Taittiriya, and generally through the Anvaya Vyatireka Paddhati. This little bit we'll discuss, and a beautiful, powerful, really pregnant shloka with the meaning and sadhana, Buddhya Anumana Garbhinya, and the need of Vasudeva Anuchinta. आज से क्या हम ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं, फिर भी हर पल दो ही काम, वासुदेव का स्मरण और उनसे मांगना, भगवान ज्ञान देकर मुक्ति दो, मुक्ति देने वाला ज्ञान दो, इसके अलावा और कुछ नहीं पूछना. ओके, थैंक यू फॉर योर पेशेंट लिसनिंग ऑफ वेरी डीप सटल सब्जेक्ट्स. हम हर दिन सुन रहे हैं इसलिए हमको उतना लग रहा नहीं, बट नए जो लोग आते हैं ना, व्हाट इज बीइंग स्पोकन, इट इज ए बाउंसर टू देम. दैट्स इन यूट्यूब एंड ऑल, 1 सेकंड 2 सेकंड आकर वो देखते हैं कि आई एम नॉट डांसिंग, so this channel is waste, so they go somewhere else. But you are very very good. We are doing the intellectual dancing to entertain, nahi apne aap ko discover the self. Let us continue tomorrow. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Bhagavata Sharanam Mama, Shri Sadguru Sharanam Mama, Shri Suta Sharanam Mama, Shri Shukadeva Sharanam Mama, Shri Vyasa Sharanam Mama, Shri Narada Sharanam Mama, Shri Kumara Sharanam Mama, Shri Brahma Sharanam Mama, Shri Vishnu Sharanam Mama, Shri Parabrahma Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sharanam Mama, Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Paramahanandamadhavam. Swarge Satye च कैलासे वैकुंठे नास्ति अयं रसः अतः पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामा मुञ्चत कर्हिचित्. ओं नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओं श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणं दशमस्कन्धः उत्तरार्धः अथ पंचाशत्तमोऽध्यायः. श्रीशुक उवाच. श्रीमुचुकुन्द उवाच. Let us do the 52 onwards. निर्जित्य दिक्चक्रमभूत विग्रहः वरासनस्तः समराजवन्दितः गृहेषु मैथुन्य सुखेषु योषितां क्रीडामृगः पूरुष ईश नीयते. करोति कर्माणि तपः सुनिष्ठितः निवृत्तभोगः तदपेक्षया ददतु. पुनश्च भूयेयम् अहं स्वराडिति प्रक्रुद्धतर्षो न सुखाय कल्पते. भवापवर्गो भ्रमतो यदा भवेत् जनस्य तर्हि अच्युत समागमः. सत्सङ्गमो यर्हि तदैव सद्गतौ परावरेशे त्वयि जायते मतिः. मन्ये ममानुग्रह ईशते कृतः राज्यानुबन्धापगमो यदृच्छया. यः प्रार्थ्यते साधुभिरेकचर्यया वनं विविक्षद्भिरखण्डभूमिपैः. न कामयेन्यं तव पादसेवनात् अकिञ्चन प्रार्थितमात्वरं विभो. आराध्य कस्त्वां हि अपवर्गदं हरे. वृणीत आर्यो वरम् आत्मबन्धनं तस्मात् विसृज्याशिष ईश सर्वतः. रजस्तमः सत्त्वगुणानुवन्दनाः निरञ्जनं निर्गुणमद्वयं परं त्वां ज्ञप्तिमात्रं पुरुषं व्रजाम्यहं. चिरमिह वृजिनार्तस्तप्यमानोऽनुतापैः अवितृषचडमित्रो अलब्धशान्ति कथञ्चित्. शरणदसमुपेतः त्वत्पदाब्जं परात्मन् अभयम् अरुतम् अशोकं पाहि मापन्नमीश. श्रीभगवानुवाच. सार्वभौम महाराज मतिस्ते विमलोर्जिता वरैः प्रलोभितस्यापि न कामैर्विहता यतः प्रलोभितो वरैर्यत् त्वम् अप्रमादाय विद्धि ततो न धीर्मय्येकान् भक्तानाम् आशीर्भिर्भिद्यते क्वचितो युञ्जानानाम भक्तानां प्राणायामादिभिर्मनः अक्षीणवासनं राजन् दृश्यते पुनरुत्थितं विचरस्व महीं कामं मय्यावेशितमानसः समाय अस्तु एव नित्यदा तुभ्यं भक्तिर्मय्यनपायिनी क्षात्रधर्मस्थितो जन्तून् न्यवधीर्मृगयादिभिः समाहितस्तत्तपसा जहि अघं मदुपाश्रितः जन्मन्यनन्तरे राजन् सर्वभूतसुहृत्तमः भूत्वा द्विजवरस्त्वं वै मामुपैष्यसि केवलम् इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां दशमस्कन्धे उत्तरार्धे मुचुकुन्दस्तुतिर्नाम एकपञ्चाशत्तमोऽध्यायः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Friends, you are seeing how beautifully our Raja Muchukundaji is guiding us as to how to do the introspection, to detect what are the non-essential things we are involved in, because of which our life is fully wasted. We are not able to focus on the main goal of a human being of surrendering to God or discovering oneness with the God. He is just telling his own life. That becomes a helping thing for us also. How much thick skinned we are, you know. So many times, so many ways Raja is saying, लेकिन हमको लगता ही नहीं वो. We are very thick skinned. And for other things of the worldly, भोगा इत्यादि, वहाँ immediately we become responsible, sensible. है ना, किचन से कोई स्मेल आते ही वी फील सो सेंसिटिव एंड सेंसिटिव एंड से यार कुछ बन रहा है, मुझे खाना है, उसको मेरे लिए आना चाहिए वो बात. डोंट यू थिंक? बट व्हेन दिस वेदांत ज्ञानम ऑफ सेल्फ इंट्रोस्पेक्शन आवर राजा इज डूइंग, वो स्मेल हमको आता ही नहीं. वी डोंट इवन थिंक दैट वी आल्सो शुड डू लाइक दैट. दैट शोस अस हाउ मच वी आर इन द वर्ल्डलीनेस, नॉट इन द स्पिरिचुअलिटी. That we have to change. You know, whenever the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Skandha are coming, enough of indulging them in them as a bhogi. Now I should not be inspired by them. You know, then these kathas I have to listen from Bhagavata. From that I must get inspiration myself to become Bhagavat. See that? And all that is, you know, when you are with Guru, Guru only pumps all these positive things to us, slowly brings that required metamorphosis in our inner thinking. Guru does only one thing, changing our orientation of thinking from the worldly to spiritual. And keep on reading the life stories of all bhaktas. And that's what we are doing in Bhagavata. And get inspired from them. Are aisa jina chahiye. एक्सक्लूसिवली व्हेन यू डू दिस दैट विल हैपन. बट इसके साथ अब संसार के भोगों को भी जोड़ोगे ना, उनका वासनाएं बहुत बलवान होते हैं. दे ऑलवेज ओवर पावर दिस. इन कलयुग वी आर नो. अब हमारे ये दो साधना के लिए हमको इंस्पायर करने बंदा है ही नहीं. सारे चारों तरफ हमारे सारे भोगी लोग ही बैठे. योगी कहाँ बैठे? योग के नाम पे भी भोग करने वाले बैठे हैं. They don't know. Have they studied Shastra to know what is yoga, what is Vedanta, what is moksha, what is tattva? Some of them listen, but not deeply, contemplatively, to digest it as well as knowing it that that's the way to realize. They listen to all Mahatmas. You know, in your own towns, you can see every year कोई सत्संग होता है वहाँ. कोई संत लोग आकर बोलते हैं. प्रोफेशनली सब जाकर सुनते हैं. किसी को लगता ही नहीं कि यार इसके लिए मेरे को साधना करनी है. बाबा जी आ रहे, बोल रहे, जा रहे. बाबा जी को मोबिलाइज करते, चलो आपके लिए मैं आके बैठा हूँ. लगता ही नहीं अंदर, बिकॉज यू नॉट हर्ड वेदांत, इवन हर्ड कॉन्टेम्पलेट नहीं किया. इवन किया तो भी उसके समझ को मेरे लिए करके से भावना नहीं किया. Who will make us do it? Only that guru who is interested in it. Some gurus tell everything about the world, not tattva. Some gurus tell tattva but superficially, बोलकर चले जाते हैं. Only few gurus tell यार ये तुम्हारे मोक्ष के लिए है, तुम इसका अपने लिए उपयोग करो, उसका व्यंजन चिंतन करो. The guru who says karo karo kuru kuru is the guru. The one who leaves it, मैंने बोल दिया मेरा काम हो गया, is not a guru. In Gita, that's whole thing kuru kuru karke. Once whole thing is done, now to test Arjuna as if Bhagavan said यथेच्छसि तथा, but kuru करना तो पड़ेगा ही. We have to do it. Let us become not thick-skinned but very sensitive. And in many ways we can do. We can do it in a non-positive way, saying that what a wretched life I am living, let it be better. A positive is what? What a great way the Raja King Muchukunda has his heart of his own internal introspection, and himself is ruthlessly rejecting the worldliness when the Lord has offered a blank check to him. He's going to encash it for only moksha. Let me be like him. Either the positive inspiration, let me be like him wala, or the non-positive help कि क्या फ्रस्ट्रेटेड जिंदगी जी रहा हूँ मैं, मेरे तरह गधा उल्लू का बट्टा कोई है ही नहीं, let me become better. Whether use that or use this, but feel sensitive for this knowledge. We have to become. Then only the Shastras will help us. Shastras are in the books. Books will not get realized. Shastras there on the tape record. Tape record doesn't get realized. Only human being, if he has knowledge but not practicing, he will never get. Okay. Now we have seen yesterday. Wonderful one. It 152 wala. Hmm. Hmm. 51, 52, 50, 51. I will not repeat it. पढ़ लो आप, बता चुका हूँ 4 बार. 52 भी हमने कल देखा, but और एक बार पढ़ेंगे. One by one word. He says about himself. What he has done. Raja Muchukunda, Nirjitya Dikchakram. All the directions of the Prithvi I have conquered. Sara Chakra, pura round. Chakra means round. So everywhere I went, conquered and gained everything. Nirjitya Dikchakram. सारे दिशाएं, चक्र मीन्स चक्रवर्ती बन गया हूं सारे दिशाओं का. That's the meaning. Nirjitya Dikchakram. Then Abhuta Vigraha. Nobody spared as the enemy to me. Nobody is my enemy. Continue. अबे है ही नहीं कोई शत्रु. Therefore, there is no डर from them. So कोई आशा नहीं रहा. क्यों? क्योंकि सारे भूमंडल को उन्होंने कब्जा कर ली. और कोई भय नहीं रहा, कोई शत्रु नहीं है. अभूत विग्रह. थर्ड वन कि वरासनस्तः, and I'm sitting such a highest pedestal. Everybody else are lower than me only. There's nothing higher than that. Imagine how he is saying about his own experiences. Fourth one, Samaraja Vanditaha. Whoever the kings are there in my own period of my ruling, everybody were doing Vandana to me only. I had to only reply to their Vandana. I never need to. मेरे से ऊपर कोई है ही नहीं इसका अर्थ है. Samaraja Vandita. Yet that such a great me also. Gruheshu Maithunya. This is another topic. Gruheshu Maithunya Sukeshu. ग्रह में आते ही मैथुन सुखादि के ऊपर आशा के कारण योषिताम क्रीडा मृग. That such a king I am, I become a क्रीडा मृग at home to the योषित. ये ईशा, O Lord, पुरुषः नीयते. Means what? The meaning is what? Outside you have conquered, but in the mind again you are a slave of your desires. Very subtle. Example is giving of the subtle one, gross one. But the point is conveying is subtle one. So you may become Raja, that desire fulfilled. You have become the Sakravarti, वो भी हो गया. Everybody should do Namaskar to you, वो भी हो गया. Even that nobody should be opposition to me, ये भी हो गया. But inside the कामनादि, शारीरिक भोग, क्रीड़ा मृग only. देखो बाहर का एनिमी को कांकर कर ली, अंदर का. And these inner desires as mentioned here, Maitanya Sukhadi, they go away only when I discover myself to be the Atma, which is not Deha. As long as Aham the Atma Asmi is not experienced, no, the other alternative of Aham Desha Asmi will be there. The moment I am Deha Asmi, immediately I am male or female, that comes. The moment that identity comes, the attraction to the opposite. Inherently it comes. So Raja is saying both outside and inside. It's a great introspection. Krida Mrugaha. पुरुष ये ईशा पुरुष क्रीडामुग इति नीयते, क्रीडामुग की तरह इन फ्रंट ऑफ देम झुककर सलाम नमस्कार. Please remember, it is not outside. Whenever such topics are spoken, even though they look to be talking about something outside, but it is inside. Why? Because everything outside happens only after it happens inside. अंदर मन के बात होने के बाद ही बाहर होता है कि नहीं? First you think in the mind, then only you execute outside. So even the execution level it is spoken, but it's from inside. So to put it in a very blunt, very wretched manner, even she kicks me, still I'll be slave to her. Thought inside, expressed outside. Jaye ghore ma gacha. You remember? Pururava and Urvashi? Is it not? No, sorry. Pururava I don't remember. Urvashi I remember. Gone. Again. So, Jaye ghore tishta. Remember it. Mm-hmm. So, क्रीडामृगः हे ईश पुरुषः योषिताम क्रीडामृग नीयते. तो युवतियों के सामने क्रीडामुख की तरह इनको नाचना पड़ता है जिनके अंदर कामनाएं हैं. उसका अर्थ ये है. So even if I conquered outside, but inside I have not conquered, and it is endless. Only in this life one dies. Next life again with all of them will be born. Mm-hmm. And all that we said, Dehatadhatmi. And the whole topic is Aham Dehosmi. And that one thing is rejected, to 50-70% साधना हो गया. देह तादात्म छोड़ दिया ना, वो देह को जीव को टैकल करना ज्यादा मुश्किल नहीं. बिकॉज देह इज वेरी ग्रॉस. देह तादात्म में ना सारे आते हैं, है ना, अन्न प्राण मनो विज्ञान सब फुलफिल कंप्लीट होते हैं देह तादात्म. सो विथ देह तादात्म किसी का अज्ञान 100% हो जाता है. मुश्किल है वहां से आना बाहर. But if one by some or other efforts, at least in 100 lives time, Aham Dehos, na Dehosmi, I'm not born. If he comes to that 100 lives minimum, then he has done with. The remaining thing, one देह दान पूरा दुनिया जागृत अवस्था से कोई समस्या नहीं रहेगा. You will never go to the world when you are not the deha. You just sit, drop the deha on the meditational seat, keep it away, enter into the inquiry of the self. I told you that crossing Aham Devasmi is like crossing अपने घर से गलियां वलियां करके coming up to the highway. Once you reach the highway, from that to the place of your destination, maybe 100 kilometers. But that journey is smoother and unobstructed. Whereas the journey from home to the highway, though it is 10 kilometers, but it is so cumbersome. Because of the traffic there, lanes, by lanes, unruly traffic, so many. So to once they asked me, हो गया, they have asked me, the journey is very easier later on, but यहाँ से वहां तक जाने में बाप रे असंभव. And the more sense of urgency say we want to do sadhana, है ना, the more the deha tadatmya vasa, he'll struggle. That's what our Raja Muchukunda is saying. He's talking about deha tadatmya only. He is thousands of years he old is. तब से अब तक उनको छूटा ही नहीं. Even though he is a साधक. जो साधक नहीं है तो उसको he is happy that I am there उसमें. He has no problem. He will be enjoying all that. But this साधक की समस्या है सारी. It is so powerful it will pull. And among all those pulls to strengthen our deha tadatma, this physical whatever is mentioned here is most powerful. This brings everything else. Think about coolly. Then again, that is why Vasudevanu Chintaya, in that sloka what we studied 12th Skandha, He Vasudeva, Jnana do, Bhakti do, Dehadi Tadatma se chudwa do. Keep on asking, like, mad crack, insistingly. Only that. अब भगवान को गुस्सा मजबूर होकर दे देना चाहिए हमको. बट वो गुस्सा मजबूर नहीं होता. He'll feel happy because we're asking right thing. Wow, beautiful it is. So, Kridamugah Purusha Isha Iniyate Yoshitam. Yoshidam Kridamruga Niyate Purusha. Which Purusha who has achieved all the great things of Dikshakram Abhuta Vigraha Varasanastaha Samaraja Vanditaha. And then, mind you, when this is said, which is the strongest attachment, it also means many other things. Some of the king is attached to his own son, like Raja Bharata attached to the deer, somebody attached to some eatable, somebody to a drink and madura, somebody like Yudhishthira ताशपत्ता खेलना, एक जगह फंसा रहता, but सबसे strong वाला ये. Then the point is what? Not how many things we have conquered, which matters in sadhana. How many things we are still slave to that. Even one slavery to one thing, enough that you can't be sadhaka. There's no way. ऐसा है उसका बस क्योंकि उससे मिलने वाला फल भी इतना महान है. The phala of mukti is so glorious that it demands this preparation, this sacrifice. There's no other way. If you don't want, okay. That big hi-fi shops, showrooms, they don't compromise with cost. बस you tell him, ये आपके ये चीज ये है, आप 2000 कह रहे हो, वहां तो 200 में मिलता है. That fellow से फिर जाके उधर ही खरीद. किसने बोला तेरे को आने को इधर? If you want to buy with my brand, you have to pay 2000. That's all. Get out. There's no compromise. And luckily, there are people for him too who don't compromise with the quality and they buy it. Quality, the way of presenting, all that. In the same way, Vedanta cannot compromise for us. Because what I am offering is the highest. Is it not? In the same way, let us digest it. Now the next shloka. और एक देखेंगे आज काफी है, बढ़िया वाला है. Every shloka is good and I love among all of that the 55th shloka. I will take 2 days to talk on that. Don't run away and don't scold me. ऐसे मेरे को ऐसे नजर से मत देखना कि आंखों से मुझे भस्म करने के लिए. You are not Muchukunda, I am not Kali Yavan. I will study slow only. Okay. So the next mantra is Karoti Karmani. Now he is generally telling, not about himself. Unka apna ho gaya introspection. Now the thinking is continuing. No, inquiring about the experiences to come to some understandings is called as introspection. That introspection word used when I do it on my own self. When I do it by taking the help of others, examples of others, then it is contemplation or thinking. So introspection is over. Now he is talking in this sloka about general public. What is that? Karoti karmani. He does the karmas. Which karmani? Tapaha karmani. How? Sunishtita. With full nishtha, there are some people who are doing great tapasya karmas. Tapah karma. Point 1. Point 2. Nivrutta bhogaha. Give up all their bhoga at the time of tapasya. Then dadatu. At that time they give charity so much. तो यह कहा करोत कर्माणि ददत means what? Upasana karna, yajna karna in a big way. Then toward the conclusion, to the Brahmana Purohita and to all who have come extensively, extremely, exceedingly, they give the things in the dakshina, dana dakshina. तो बड़ा यज्ञयाग उपासना किया और दक्षिणा दान भी दी. हो गया. Then why do they do that? तद अपेक्षया कि जिसको छोड़ा है तपस्या के द्वारा उसी को पाने के लिए फिर से in other place. So I do tapasya giving up all the bhoga here for the sake of getting the bhoga in the other world. Like India में सारे तपस्याएं करके भोग वगैरह छोड़कर ऐसे पढ़ाई करते हैं so that they go to America and settle there to enjoy bhoga more. भोगा शक्ति वाले वहां जाते हैं, वहां योग का है. जिनको योग चाहिए they'll come back to India only. Mentally at least, online at least. So tadapekshaya again punascha bhuya yam aham swarad iti. Again punascha bhuya yam, sorry, aham swarad. And why do they do that? So that with that upasana tapasya puja, that Lord blesses, again he will become swarad virat chakravarti. Then pravruddhat arshaha, same things which he gave up for tapasya, to get those things only does tapasya. सच प्रवृत्त तरशहा इस फेलो का ये त्याग है कि इसके त्याग के पीछे और भी राग है. Is pravruddha tarshaha. He's temporarily giving up the comforts for the higher comforts. Higher sukha, higher bhoga. Na sukha hai kalpade. Such fellows can never have the Atma Sukha, the Adhyatmika Sukha. So he is just laughing at them. A similar type of sloka to make this understand easily in Bhaja Govindam. है ना, जटिलो मुंडी लुंचित केशः काषायांबर बहुकृत वेशः. तपस्या कर रहे हैं, उसके लिए सब छोड़ के गए वो लोग वहां. देन व्हाट इज व्हाई दे आर डूइंग तपस्या फॉर? पश्यन्नपि च न पश्यति मूढ़ः उदर निमित्तम बहुकृत वेशः. पेट पालने के वास्ते. So too, for the sake of higher bhoga, I am doing all these tapasyas. So you are not a sadhaka. Sadhaka seeks only Paramatma. So तपस्या निष्काम भाव से करने से अंतःकरण शुद्ध होकर उस शुद्ध अंतःकरण में परमात्मा का ज्ञान आता है. दैट लिबरेट्स अस फ्रॉम मैं जीव हूं वगैरह. तो अप टू अबाउट द देह तादात्म्य, यहाँ जीव तादात्म्य. एज ए जीव ओनली I want to have a better happiness than this. For that, these happinesses I live and do tapasya, so that I am rewarded with the higher. Who I am here? Jiva. So here Jiva bhava ka yahan vicharana or vishleshana or contemplation or introspection ho raha. But the final line is what? Na sukhaya kalpate. Because tarsha is there in him. फिर वहां जाने के बाद क्या है ना, और उससे ऊपर चाहिए, और उससे ऊपर वाला चाहिए. और सबसे ऊपर पहुंचने के बाद भी कि ऊपर को दूसरा नहीं है, फिर भी यही चीज और चाहिए, बार बार चाहिए, ज्यादा चाहिए. दैट तर्श विल नेवर लिव. Like from the village, very rustic, from coming to a semi town, from the town a better town, and from better town to the little bigger city sort of thing, then to the district headquarters, then the district. वो कम नहीं होता, खत्म नहीं होता, because there higher things are there. From the district headquarters you go to the state headquarters. वो हाँ भी नहीं है तो national capital we go, or any of the cosmos. Do you think we are happy there? No. From there, at least I want to land in New Zealand. some land I want to land. But no land gives more money than America. So finally go to land in the USA to get shoot out or whatever. But once we go there, there's nothing greater than it. Then where to go? Stay there permanently, apply green card. Then that fellow is refusing to give green card now. ज़्यादा हो गए Indians अभी. Our people are not getting employment. There are so risks. All is ready. पेपर में तो देते हैं कि 10 लाख वीजा मंजूरी का उन्होंने कहा. But on papers it is legal, but in reality it doesn't give. Now see the tension in them till they get green card. Then inside the heart again it pulls, यार India. फिर भी मन में होता है. So प्रवृद्ध दर्शः न सुखाय कल्पते. I'm just giving an example, okay? How the mind. So I go to Swarga, I want to stay there only for a long time. But hota to nahi wo. Is it not? And wherever we stay, after some time their native problems start coming. Different. Shape of problem changes. Problem will not change. Being, so many things again today, because time I'm not telling. Tomorrow we'll touch 2 or 3 or 4 things. So one Mahavakya today is Pravruddha Tarshaha na Sukhaya Kalpate. A person with extreme greed and trishna can never be happy in life. What is to be done? Be contented with all those things. Now embark on the search for the self or the truth. Let us study all those portions tomorrow. In the Chauvanma Shloka, when is that happens in us, that we take a U-turn and come back to the self from where we are displaced, misplaced, therefore miserable. How will it happen? What is the jadoo of that? Tomorrow discussion. Let us spend some time for that. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramarusibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Om Tatsat Brahma Arpanamastu Om Purnamada Purnamurusarvarundev Pranaya Panamasavan Brahmane Brahma Arpanamadhyamad Astavada Prakshana Svantambulla Nirajanancha Darshayami. Om Nilamega Shama Krishna Nityagan Mona Krishna Bala Gopala Krishna Bhavya Mangalam Venugana Lola Krishna Vedanta Vedya Krishna Navanita Chora Krishna Nityamangalam Bhakta Janadhara Krishna Paramadaya Vardhi Krishna Mukti Sandhayaka कृष्णामूर्तिमङ्गलं गीतामृतदात कृष्णा परमयोगेश पार्थसारथिरूप कृष्णा सर्वमङ्गलम् ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भातिरचन्द्र नारायणाय नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो नमो ओम श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण शास्त्र की जय श्री वेद व्यास शुकदेव सूतादि भागवताचार्य की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय सर्वत्र गोविंद नाम संकीर्तनम गोविंदा गोविंद. See, these things, friends, appear to be so heavy, loaded and bitter and all. But anyone who want to taste the amrita of Paramatmana, everyone will have to go through these tough looking tunnels and valleys and all these risky looking zones of journey. At all because we are at that side. करना ही पड़ता, क्या करें. अब कोई सुनने को भी राजी है, इतना वेदांत की बातें बोल के ना हमको इतना दुखी निराश कर रहे हैं. If such a person has such attitude, is not a seeker only. We are not talking here untruths. Facts only are put, and it is the interest of us only. And luckily, it is not somebody telling us. It has to come from within. So here, Lord Krishna is not teaching all this to Muchukunda. उनको अंदर से ही सब महसूस हुआ. But somewhere some triggering is required. So a guru comes and gives an initiation. Then from within this introspection happens, and slowly we seek the eternal, seek the truth. For that, slowly, one by one, we have to give up the untrue, unreal, imaginary in our own interest. So, while listening to these topics, if we are feeling demoralized, it shows how strong we are a samsari. But if it is giving inspiration, then we are more lucky, more matured. More grace of the God is there on us. Then the one who deeply thinks all these things and verbatim understands, accepts everything, and that really changes oneself. उनके लिए तो मुक्ति ज्यादा दूर है ही नहीं. थैंक यू. ओम नमो नारायण. नारायण.